Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be doing some testing of Valka on Vietnam server 2 on Now's account in the endless Crystal Beetle Dream Realm boss. Now a couple things before we get started. Valka is a physical damage dealer, as you guys know, and the thing about Crystal Beetle is the skills will cause magical damage dealers to deal even more damage. And so Valka is not going to be the most suited to Crystal Beetle, so keep that in mind. Now the overall top score of a team that now is used today is 45 billion. I'm not going to look at that team, we're just going to try to compete with that using a Valka oriented team and see how much closer we can get to that basically. Okay, now the first thing is Crystal Beetle is because of magical damage dealers, energy recovery, all of these factors, Taylene is really the queen of Crystal Beetle. And maybe when we get mythic level magic charms, we can run like a Frest or Shakir type of comp. But as of right now, it isn't a great option because without the skill power from mythic magic charms, Shakir is not as good of an option. So I'm thinking we want to have Taylene as our major damage dealer, and so I think Taylene and the twins is going to be a good combo. Apart from this, I think if we have Sonya to further buff up Taylene, it can be good. And then I think in endless bosses, Smokey is good because he heals and he has blue aura to deal damage and he provides attack buff to your allies. So I'm thinking a comp like this. A lot of people now are using the Blade Summon spell, but there are different options. The reason this is good is it gives you good like offensive stats, attack and attack speed, and it also will periodically reduce the defenses of the boss, both physical and magical defense, whenever it summons and uses the active version of its effect. And that is going to increase then Taylene's damage because Taylene is not a true damage dealer, so she needs things like that. And I'm thinking Smokey on the left side because then my whole team can be buffed up. Valka and Taylene, like hopefully they'll all end up on the left side and they'll all be within the range of the Smokey buff. And I think, yeah, I mean, this should be pretty much fine. Sonya's buffing up Valka, who's our damage dealer, along with the Taylene as well. And then we have the twins just maximizing the buff onto Taylene. Okay guys, here we go. Moment of truth. So 45 billion is what we're competing with. Honestly speaking, I think it will be very difficult to get even close to that. But like, even if we could get like 42 billion, I would consider that kind of a success. Let's see. Valka is ramped up as much as possible. And Valka from the initial position is going to buff up the attack speed of Sonya, Taylene. Wait. Oh, that's one other problem. But I won't be able to do that. I can't have the Valka buffing up the attack speed of Taylene because then Sonya will not be able to buff up Valka. And I prefer to have like Valka being buffed up by Sonya. Okay, I mean, this is pretty good so far. It was really good placement. Smokey's blue aura will reach the boss and he's buffing up everyone on our team right now. 38 seconds left, 30 billion, not bad. And Sonya's dealing her damage. Valka, I'm excited to see the damage output of Valka at the end of this. But let's find out. And Taylene is permanently casting her ultimate, which is really big and really important, honestly. And also with this team setup, you have maximum attack buff onto Taylene because she doesn't have any other linked allies. It is only the Taylene, which seems like it would be a good comp. Okay, 3 seconds left. And that is going to be... Okay, that is going to be 37.6 billion damage. Which, yeah, I mean, not great. Valka's damage output was not so bad, 8.3 billion. But the thing is, it wasn't anything amazing either. And that is kind of the issue. Okay, so now what we're going to try next is we're going to try a Rainier team. And I'm thinking, so it does seem like we need to have Smokey as a healer to sustain the Taylene if that's what we're going for. But I'm planning, okay, what if we forget about the Sonya? I know Sonya's buffs are really good and Sonya has good damage output too. So I don't know if this is actually like going to be the greatest idea. But like, what if we went for a comp like this, because then in this position we'll be able to have Valka buffing up the attack speed of all of the allies. We can even have Valka over here on this right side. And that should be pretty good, right? I am a little bit worried Valka will end up in a bad position, though. I want her to be buffed up by the Smokey attack buff, so I'll keep her on the left. We don't need to give the attack speed buff to Rainier. And let's go ahead and try this team and see what happens. Let's pay attention to the positioning. Okay, Valka ran into... She's a little bit far away from the Smokey, but there is an easy fix to that. We can just move Smokey to the other side if need be. But either way, when Smokey casts his blue aura, it is going to reach the Valka for the attack. There. So now she should be getting or receiving the attack buff from Smokey, but I don't see it. Okay. I see some sort of buff on her. I don't know. Is she just out of range from this position too? She might be. We'll have to retry this team with Smokey on the opposite side, I guess. But then that positioning would seem pretty good. Okay. I mean, looking decent, but still, we have to beat 45. We're not going to beat 45 billion, but I want to see if we can get close to that. Okay, this is looking not as good as Sonya. I think you have to kind of run Sonya in your team because she just... Like, if your key damage dealer is the Tailene, like it is for this Crystal Beetle boss, then you need to go all of your eggs into the Tailene basket, and you also need to buff up the Tailene with the Sonya. Rather than going for, like, another damage dealer source of Rainier. Yeah, because it seems like Rainier's not actually contributing that much. I think Rainier is not the best option for Crystal Beetle, at least for this comp. Yeah, so Tailene did a little bit more damage, Valka did some as well, but this was an even worse score. So it is looking like Sonya needs to be run. The thing is, if we get rid of the twins, the problem is we don't have the sustained healing for the Tailene. And because we're relying on Tailene, we have to run Smokey, in my opinion. And I think that we want to run the twins as well, because if we don't run the twins, then that's also a problem. Like, we're going to lose out on attack buffs onto the Tailene. So I really think it would be a team like this, but maybe we have another option. Potentially we could have a positioning like this. Now, oh wait, not like that. I mean, like, it would be like this. Yeah, like this. Oh, but then we can't have attack speed buff on Tailene. But I don't think Tailene's attack speed matters because she begins permanently casting her ultimate. I'm thinking a team like this because this way we have like another hero benefiting from the buff of the Stellar Bond, like Sonya, and Sonya deals decent damage. Like, is this better, or is it just better to completely just have only Tailene being buffed by the Stellar Bond? I'm not sure. And anyway, if we had this sort of positioning, and Smokey is off to the right, like, that should be fine. Like, Valka will end up here, Tailene will end up here. Seems like it should be fine for the positioning of Smokey. Let's see what happens here. Okay, Smokey's blue aura might not reach the boss from this position, but he's still buffing up all of our team right from the beginning, other than Sonya, who's gone off into the corner. Oh, and now Tailene goes down. But now, the follow-up, she will not go down, because Smokey will be able to permanently heal her from this position. But it does look like you need Smokey and the twins together to sustain the Tailene. Just having the twins is not enough. I guess the only other question could be, could you replace the twins and go for, like, we could go for, like, Valka, Freesto, Tailene, Sonya, Smokey? We can try that. Let's try that comp after this one. But this is looking like a little bit better than the last run we did, even though Sonya's not really in the attack buff of Smokey for most of the fight. I mean, this is better than the previous run, but it isn't as good as the other run that we did, I think. Yeah, because I think the first one we did got 37 billion. Okay, I mean, not bad. Sonya did good damage, Valka did good damage. Okay, now we're going to try a different comp. We're going to try, get rid of the twins and go for Freesto. Who knows? Because, like, in Crystal Beetle, you have so much energy recovery already. Yeah, like, what if we want to have Smokey off to the side, because otherwise he gets interrupted. We want him to be buffing up the entire team. We don't need the Freestos on the same row, actually. But the thing is, I probably want to have the main Freesto in front of... I don't know if I need it in front of the Tailene. It's probably not necessary. But, oh, we could go for like this, right? We could go for a comp like this. Okay, or even main Freesto in front of Sonya. Who is more important to cast the ultimate more? Like, because Tailene is going to cast her ultimate and then be good to go. And Okay, I'm gonna try this. I don't know what's gonna happen. I just want my team, my heroes to be grouped up well. The reason I have them so back is I want the Crystal Beetle boss to walk up to me. Nice, okay. So Smokey's getting a good buff value here because look at this. We have our endless damage dealers, which are Freesto, we have Tailene. Oh no, but I'm noticing something. The Tailene keeps getting interrupted. So maybe we need the twins, because twins provide unaffected state to the Tailene. Unfortunately, it looks like we need the twins. Maybe you just forget about Tailene though and go for like Freesto, Smokey, Valka, Sonya. Yeah, because Tailene is not working without the twins. You're gonna need the twins and you're gonna need Smokey, and you need, if you're gonna run Tailene, you have to run, for Crystal Beetle that is, Tailene, twins, and Smokey. That's already 3 heroes. Then if you want to fit in Valka, basically your final hero just has to be Sonya, right? Or... okay, so that was even worse. Valka did the most damage there because Tailene just did not do well. And the thing was, Freesto didn't do good damage there. Which is really weird. Like, I thought he would be doing more damage than that. Because he was buffed up by Smokey and he would have the HP per second damage. Really kind of interesting. Okay, now as for the different artifacts, I don't know, like, these are not gonna... I mean, maybe Harmonic Spell because it gives you the attack buff. Like, that's the only thing I'm thinking could potentially be, like, the best artifact for endless bosses. But this thing was definitely not working. If you're gonna run Tailene, then you have to run her with the twins. Otherwise, you should run without Tailene. What if we run something like this? Twins and Lily May? Twins and Lily May? Like, this is massive damage. Or somehow Shakir. If you could get Shakir in here. But this is going to be like crazy. I don't know how I'm going to get all of these heroes to end up in a good position. But like a comp like this, honestly, I feel like has potential. I definitely think a comp like this has potential. And the twins buffing up the Freesto and his illusion for more damage can be good. And then we have Sonya buffing up one of the Freestos. Thing is, we need Shakir to end up in a good position. Okay, we can have Elijah up here. Yeah. Or, yeah, we need the boss to run up towards my team. Or do we even? We don't necessarily need that. What I just need is I need Shakir in the middle position. If I have Shakir in the middle position, and then I have, like... this is tough. Like, I mean... Elijah will not be in the range of being buffed from this position. I don't know if I need to have both Freestos in the Stellar Bond to give them both the attack buff. I would think you would have to. And the problem with this is you have no Smokey attack buff. Like, I could just be running Smokey instead. Why am I running Shakir? Shakir gives an attack buff and I guess more of an attack buff than the Smokey. I guess that's the reason why. Shakir does really well in this type of boss. Okay, I don't know. We're not really going to have enough attempts to try everything, but I want to just try this and see what happens. Like, if Shakir can end up in an optimal position somehow, then, like, I feel like there's a lot of value here, because you have so much grouped up okay, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this positioning of Shakir. Like, he's buffing up both Freestos and the Elijah and the Valka. Right? Like, this is a pretty maximal attack buff, and because of Crystal Beetle, like, your energy recovery, Shakir will never go out of the wolf form. And with the damage reduction and twins, it's enough healing for your team. Let's see what happens, who knows? Like, and when you get Mythic Magic Charms, things are going to be on another level, right? Because Shakir's attack buff will be even higher. So far, not bad, 40 seconds left, we're up to 27 billion. I think this is going to be our record so far. Without Tailene, because with Tailene, there are too many things that need a supporter, like twins, Smokey, Tailene. It's too much. And if you go for a non-Tailene team, then just the twins is enough healing. You don't need to have Smokey as well. Shakir's in a pretty good position, honestly. He's buffing up who are supposed to be my big damages, which are Freesto, the Illusion, and Valka. But we're still not going to be able to even beat the Tailene team, because Tailene is just the queen of Crystal Beetle. There's not much more you can say about it. 36 billion, but like with this, you're gonna see, like, Valka did good, Freesto did good damage output. It is a non-Tailene team. Yeah, so overall, it looks like for Crystal Beetle, Valka is not going to be the best because Taylene Twins Smoky Comp is just going to be the best option. And then it's better just to have Sonya and other supporters kind of for your team comp. Okay, now what I want to talk about is the different monsters, because as of right now, we've had her out, or Valka out, for 3 different bosses. Lone Gaze, Elucia, Thalassa, and now Crystal Beetle. For Crystal Beetle, due to the strength of magical damage dealers like Taylene, I do not think Valka will ever have a place as a top hero. And that is, I'm pretty confident about that. Now, for Thalassa, again, it is not possible. You need to have ranged heroes. Melee heroes will not be able to attack her. So she's already out of the question for 2 different bosses. Lone Gaze, this was the interesting one. I will show you guys the Lone Gaze comp. But the Lone Gaze comp that was the best performing was using Valka, as of the testing which was done last time. And Valka ended up dealing, like you guys saw that in one of my videos. Like, okay, looking at the Lone Gaze, the overall top score I think that was 28.4 billion, I believe. And this was the team formation where Valka ended up dealing, look at that, 21.5 billion damage, and Sonya buffing out the twins and Valka. This was a crazy team comp, and this really showed you Valka's potential. And so as of right now, from the limited testing, Valka is the best for Lone Gaze, but things could change when we have more testing in the future. Okay, but now looking at Elucia, Valka was not working. If we take a look at the performance of Valka in Elucia, so for Elucia, Valka was used in a team that got 19.7 billion, but the overall top team for the day got 29 billion, even on the same account. Which means that she's not really working for Elucia either, which means that as of right now, there's just one boss where she seems to have potential to be a top option. When we take a look at the upcoming bosses, Plague Creeper, I do not think she's going to be usable, and Snow Stomper, she's not going to be very effective because her true damage is on her ultimate, and she's going to keep getting denied casting her ultimate, which is going to be an issue. So it's really going to be up to Orison and Crazy Shellbrute. I do think she has potential in both of the bosses, because like Taylene is not going to be good for Orison. Physical damage deals can be good there. I have a feeling for Orison and Crazy Shellbrute, Valka is going to be a good option. So we'll do testing tomorrow. And Lone Gaze, she does look good. But for the other bosses, it's looking like, honestly, really no chance. There's just going to be better options out there. So overall, from the testing so far, we have a pretty good idea of what we can expect from Valka in the days to come and in endless bosses, and if you need to recruit for her or not. If she does end up being meta even in 2 or 3 endless bosses as a top comp, that is already good enough reason to recruit for her. But if she doesn't, and there are other top options, then you could even skip her if you wanted to. But she still looks like she has potential. I'm not getting like, I don't feel demotivated yet. And the other thing is that we're at a lower level. Once we reach level 800, which is going to be kind of like the season official level cap, then things can also be different. As levels increase, different team comps become more effective. When magic charms come out, mythic magic charms, that is also going to change things. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That is going to be it for this one. But that being said, about the mythic magic charms, I think Valka will not have a great time with that, because the mythic magic charm is not going to increase the damage cap. Like, even if we gave her ultimate power. So, like, it's not really going to help her. Like, it will increase the attack speed. So, you would go for skill power and attack charms, ideally, like Arcane, if that's possible. And then you can increase the attack speed buff to your allies. But other than that, it's not really going to be great. So, anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now. And thank you for watching. And if you want to join my AFK Journey Discord server, there's a link to that in the description of this video. But I'll see you guys in the next one.